Sabrina,
Yes, chef?
look, bro,
Yes,
like
chef.
you're still running around in the field.
Picture this. It's 2004. Britain's on the sofa, half a glass of wine in, when Gordon Ramsay calls a pop star useless on live television while a scallop quietly dies on the pass.
Hey ladies, hey, come here.
Somewhere in the dining room, a paying customer is wondering if they've stumbled into dinner or a hostage situation. This isn't MasterChef, this is Hell's Kitchen, and it just turned dinner service into national entertainment.
The cake is off!
The pitch was beautifully reckless. Take a handful of famous faces, throw them into a fully functioning restaurant, fill it with real customers, and put Gordon Ramsay in charge, a man who treats burnt scallops like war crimes. Was it a cooking competition? Technically, but it played more like a survival show with side plates. And for a while, it was magic. Ramsay didn't just run the kitchen, he orchestrated a kind of culinary demolition derby, live and unscripted. Celebrities who thought they'd signed up for a bit of cooking found themselves drowning in orders, dodging verbal artillery, and praying their souffle wouldn't collapse in front of 7 million viewers. The country couldn't look away. Pubs screened it like football. Tabloids breathlessly documented every meltdown. Parents let their kids stay up late just to watch a soap star cry into a béarnaise sauce. Hell's Kitchen wasn't about recipes, it was about spectacle. It was loud, messy, and gloriously unpolished.
Yeah, I do want to know the truth. The truth is, I have no faith that he's going to be able to get the sides out.
The kind of reality TV that felt dangerous because it really could go wrong at any second. And that's why it worked, at first. So how did a show that once had Britain hooked end up fading away without even a farewell service? To find out, we need to wind back to its first night in the kitchen. Hell's Kitchen UK landed on ITV in May 2004, at that perfect moment when reality TV was still being sold as a social experiment instead of watch strangers have a breakdown for our amusement. Britain was already hooked on Big Brother and Pop Idol, but this felt different. Homegrown chaos, seasoned with British sarcasm, and plated up with a cast that looked like they'd been lured here under false pretenses.
Sebastian, okay, yeah, you can come back. Second time, get out! God, are you kidding me?
At the center, Gordon Ramsay, not yet the global TV mogul, but already infamous for his volcanic temper and his ability to turn donkey into a public shaming ritual. He wasn't just the head chef, he was the tyrant king of a sweaty, fluorescent-lit kingdom, ruling over 10 celebrities who had no idea they'd be cooking for real paying customers while millions judged them from the sofa. The format was deceptively simple. Real kitchen, real food, real customers, and real humiliation.
Okay. Why aren't you to communicate with each other? Okay. And you're not! Just let me know what's going on.
It was one part cooking show, one part endurance test, and one part televised hostage crisis. Every mistake played out live with no edits and nowhere to hide. Burn the scallops? Britain would see it. Drop a steak? Britain would see that too. The gamble paid off instantly.
I didn't do anything to get kicked out of this dinner service.
By the season 1 finale, more than 7 million people were watching. ITV hadn't pulled numbers like that since royal weddings, or England accidentally winning a big football match. Offices debated whether Abby Titmus could poach an egg without causing a fire. Newspapers ran nightly updates. Pubs turned dinner service into group viewing. But success came with a timer. After just one season, Ramsay left, chasing bigger paychecks and more control at Channel 4 with the F Word and Kitchen Nightmares. In the studio corridors, rumors swirled that Gordon had been irritated for months, not by the format, but by the quality of the coffee. "If I get served Nescafe one more time, I'll set the set on fire," he allegedly muttered to a runner. ITV tried to salvage the format in 2005 with Gary Rhodes and Jean-Christophe Novelli, keeping the celebrity cast but dialing down the chaos. The food got better, the TV didn't. By 2006, the show was off the air, quietly cooling on the back burner. But ITV wasn't ready to bend the recipe just yet. They had one more trick to try, and it involved turning the heat up far higher than before. The trouble started the second Gordon Ramsay walked out the door. Officially, his 2005 exit was the natural next step.
You, for the last time, take him and get out!
Unofficially, it was your star striker bailing mid-season because another club offered him more money, better fixtures, and zero obligation to make small talk with soap actors while sautéing spinach. ITV brought in Gary Rhodes and Jean-Christophe Novelli, two serious culinary heavyweights. Rhodes had the sharp suits and textbook British cooking. Novelli had French finesse and Michelin pedigree. What they didn't have was Ramsay's nuclear reactor energy. Ramsay turned dinner service into a contact sport. Rhodes and Novelli ran it like an A-level home economics exam. Worse, the celebrity cast stayed, but the chaos didn't. The food was better, the service was calmer, and the drama evaporated. Instead of a pop star crying into a béarnaise sauce, you got TV personalities politely plating up under pressure. Audiences noticed. Ratings dipped. By 2006, ITV quietly shelved the show. It could have ended there, a flash-in-the-pan format burned out by its own success. But reality TV has a habit of reheating leftovers. In 2007, ITV tried again, this time with Marco Pierre White. If Ramsay was a firework, Marco was a controlled detonation. He was the youngest chef ever to earn 3 Michelin stars, the man who once made Ramsay cry, and someone who'd walked away from fine dining's top honors like they were expired coupons. Marco's first tour of duty wasn't with celebrities at all. It was with unknown hopefuls chasing a £250,000 restaurant prize. Ramsay's temper was theatrical.
Hey guys, come here, all of you. We're standing here with raw fish.
Marco's was surgical. He didn't just tell you you'd failed, he made you feel it in your soul. And almost immediately, the controversy began. Week 1, he dropped an outdated slur on live TV, earning 29 complaints to Ofcom. ITV tried to brush it off, but grease sticks to a kitchen wall. Then came the Jim Davidson-Brian Dowling disaster. Dowling, openly gay and a fan favorite, was holding his own until Davidson, a comedian whose edgy material aged about as well as prawn cocktail crisps in the sun, decided to season service with some casual homophobia. The clash left Dowling in tears, Davidson booted from the show, and ITV pumping out apology statements like side orders. The tension was so awkward that the sound engineer allegedly let the mics crackle on purpose to dull the impact. Spoiler, it didn't work. It was ugly. It was messy. It was ratings gold. The 2007 finale pulled 6.3 million viewers, the biggest since Ramsay. Marco had delivered the chaos, but with a sharper edge and fewer laughs. Behind the scenes, the vibe was darker. Contestant Annika Rice later called it brutal and manipulative, claiming production actively engineered hostility. Ramsay's tirades had a kind of showmanship. Marco's felt like psychological warfare. By 2008, the formula was showing cracks again. The blow-ups, storm-outs, and teary confessionals were still there, but now they felt scheduled.
Yeah. Adam, you okay, sir? You sure? Is it something Chef Adon said?
Viewers could predict the week's drama like it was the weather report. And when the anything can happen energy is gone, reality TV becomes just TV. The tabloids still covered it, but the fever had broken. Gone were the screaming front pages. In their place, midweek mentions. Fan forums started to notice the repetition. Someone swears, someone cries, someone quits. See you next week. Even the insults had lost flavor. What once felt like verbal shrapnel now sounded like reheated leftovers. In 2009, ITV tried one last twist. Claudia Winkleman as host. Her deadpan delivery and sly humor lightened the dining room. She could diffuse tension with a single eyebrow raise. But in the kitchen, Marco's grip remained ironclad. The season's big moment? Dynasty star Linda Evans winning. Charming, yes. Viral headline material? Not quite. Ratings hovered around 3 to 4 million. Solid, but a shadow of the 2004 glory days.
Getting it hot, Chef. Come on, Cindy.
Critics sharpened their knives. The Guardian dismissed it as manufactured conflict with a garnish of actual cooking. And with YouTube highlights on the rise, why sit through an hour when you could watch the best blow-ups in 3 minutes the next morning? By the end of 2009, ITV quietly pulled the plug. No finale fanfare, no farewell montage, just a silent close on a show that had once been a national obsession. Hell's Kitchen UK had followed the classic reality TV death spiral. Shock, hook, repeat. Until repetition killed the shock. Once the audience learned your rhythm, they stopped dancing, and when that happens, service is over. By the time Hell's Kitchen UK limped off ITV's schedule in 2009, it wasn't just past its peak. It was a case study in how to overcook your own success. What started as must-watch chaos had curdled into something stale, predictable, and frankly a little sad. The first problem? The whole format was built on shock value.
So fucking cold in the middle.
In 2004, Gordon Ramsay's outbursts were fresh, dangerous, and impossible to predict. A single, "you donkey," could detonate a dinner service. But once the audience learned the pattern, someone burns the scallops, someone cries in the walk-in fridge, someone storms out, the tension evaporated. It didn't help that the live broadcasts were gone, replaced by pre-recorded episodes that felt more edited and less like anything could implode at any second. Fans even made an unofficial Hell's Kitchen drinking game. Take a shot when someone ruins the scallops, 2 shots when Marco tilts his head and smiles grimly. By the end of 2009, most viewers were either bored or too drunk to remember who had won. The second problem was cultural drift. In the mid-2000s, reality TV thrived on humiliation. Public meltdowns were part of the entertainment.
I ain't the cook, but I know I'm going home tonight. Keisha, don't say that. Yes, I'm ready to go.
But by the late 2000s, Britain was craving comfort instead of cruelty. The Great British Bake Off was just around the corner. MasterChef was reframing kitchen pressure as inspiration. Against that backdrop, Hell's Kitchen UK stopped looking thrilling and started looking like a workplace harassment video. In its final seasons, some moments felt less like TV and more like CCTV from a failing restaurant. Except here, every 15 minutes you got a dramatic close-up of someone sobbing over a saucepan. Then came the brand damage. Ramsay's departure left a void no one could fill. Gary Rhodes and Jean-Christophe Novelli were excellent chefs, but they didn't produce the you-have-to-see-this moments that fuel water cooler talk. Marco Pierre White brought fireworks, but also PR nightmares, live slurs, public bust-ups, and an atmosphere described by ex-contestants as manipulative and hostile. The fallout from the 2007 Jim Davidson-Brian Dowling clash cemented its reputation as that place where awful things happen on camera. Meanwhile, the internet was eating live TV's lunch. Why sit through an hour of filler when you could watch the most explosive 90 seconds on YouTube the next morning?
You fast. Fuck it, come here. Oh, it's a fuck. No, this can't be happening.
In the age of on-demand drama, Hell's Kitchen UK was still serving the same plate night after night, and the customers had moved on. By the end, the show had no identity. It wasn't the skill-focused contest it pretended to be, and it wasn't the unpredictable chaos it once was. It was a lukewarm hybrid, and nothing kills a restaurant faster than a menu no one's excited about. You'd already paid for the taxi. And when Britain finally left, nobody was asking for an encore. Hell's Kitchen UK was never really about food. The plates, the garnishes, the perfect drizzle of sauce, all props in a theater built on tension, ego, and the occasional public breakdown. For a few glorious years, it sold us the fantasy that dinner service could be war, and we could watch it all from the safety of our sofas. And for a while it worked. You didn't know if the night would end with triumph, disaster, or soap star being verbally filleted on live TV.
Where's the lamb sauce? Right here. Yes, sir. Then you check in with your garnish.
It was unpredictable, messy, and addictive. Exactly what reality TV should be. But chaos is a terrible business model. Once the audience learned the formula, provoke, explode, apologize, repeat, the danger drained away. The meltdowns felt rehearsed. The insults became catchphrases. The show wasn't dangerous anymore. It was comfortable. And comfortable is the death sentence for a format built on shock. Maybe that's why the clips still circulate on YouTube. Not because we want the recipes, but because we miss a time when live TV could truly go off the rails, and it was okay to enjoy it. Could it have survived? Sure, it could have pivoted towards genuine skill, reinvented the challenges, or found new ways to make live service feel risky again. Instead, it clung to the same tricks long after the crowd had stopped clapping. Now, Hell's Kitchen UK lives on in grainy YouTube clips, nostalgia threads, and late-night pub debates about whether you donkey is still the greatest insult in British TV history. It's remembered not because it was perfect, but because for a brief, chaotic moment, it convinced us that cooking under pressure was the most entertaining sport on television. So here's the final lesson. Chaos might get you famous, but reinvention keeps you there. And if you've enjoyed this little autopsy of Britain's loudest kitchen, hit subscribe like Ramsay slamming a plate of raw scallops, and drop a comment with the celebrity you'd throw into service, just to see if they survive.